Welcome to the WHHI-TV Daily News. I'm Betsy McDaniel. It's a beautiful day in the Lowcountry, and as always, there's a lot to cover, so let's get started with our headlines. While most of us are still talking about last week's crazy snowstorm, there's a bit of a victory to talk about following Hurricane Helene that came through in late September. The Sands Beach boat landing in Port Royal that's been closed since the storm is fixed and back open. And repairs on the boardwalk along Battery Creek have also begun, including improvements to the observation tower. The storm surge from Helene ripped out a large section of the boardwalk last fall. Port Royal is also working on a nearly 200-foot-long timber bridge that will help folks get off and on Sands Beach during high tide. Now that the snow is gone, you might be thinking it's time for a walk on the beach. And now, through early summer, would be a great time to enjoy those walks before the town begins its latest beach renourishment program later in the summer. The nearly $17 million project, paid for by tourism taxes, will move nearly 2.2 million cubic yards of sand from just offshore onto the beaches from north to south on the island. The project will begin up on the heel of the island in June, and depending on delays caused by any serious storms, hopes to end at South Beach before the summer tourist season in 2026. The town hopes to only restrict 1,000 feet of beach access a day, or only about 2% of the beach a day, during the project. Another bit of low-country nature was on the fringes of last week's snowstorm. A 14-foot-long, 1,600-pound great white shark was swimming off Hilton Head's coastline just hours before the snow started falling. The shark, named Contender, was tracked to our coastline after being tagged near Jacksonville a few weeks ago. The nonprofit research company OSearch tags the sharks to track their movements, off into our area in the winter, then back up toward Nova Scotia in the summer. This week, Governor McMaster delivers his 8th State of the State address, but what might make it truly historic is that McMaster is now the longest-serving governor in our state's history. He's also the oldest governor at age 77. South Carolina governors served one 2-year term for a long time before it was extended to 4 years. Only since 1980 has a governor been allowed to serve 2 consecutive terms. McMaster has been governor since his elevation to the job when Nikki Haley was named U.S. ambassador back in 2017, serving out the last 2 years of her term before being elected and then re-elected 2 years ago. Not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing to be recognized as one of the nation's hottest suburbs, or boomtowns, but according to the website Move Buddha, 3 of the 6 fastest growing towns in the country for job growth are in South Carolina. Somerville is ranked number 1, Conroy is 2nd, and Bluffton is 6th, as the site touts the coastal South as the place where more people want to move into and fewer want to move out of. All of the top 10 boomtowns are within 2 hours of the coast. And we mentioned earlier this week some of the new laws that the new legislature might try to enact in the coming session. But what about talking about some of the old laws that are still on the books, but haven't seen much enforcement lately? Like one that makes it illegal to buy kitchenware, appliances, hardware, technology, or a car on Sundays. Yep, it's codified in state law. In fact, you're not even supposed to work on Sunday unless it's deemed absolutely necessary, or for charity, or you're working at a funeral home or a cemetery. And speaking of weekends, it's illegal to keep a dance hall open between midnight Saturday night and midnight Sunday night. It's also illegal for anyone under 18 to play pinball any day of the week. I'm sure a few of us may have violated that one. But perhaps the quirkiest of them all, it's illegal to keep a horse in your bathtub. The media sources on your screen will have more on these and other stories, and we would love for you to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at WHHI-TV. And if you have an idea for a news story, we'd love to hear it, so drop us a line at news@WHHITV.com. And after a short break, we're going to get the latest on the RBC Heritage 2025. Don't go away.